Good evening, everybody. Good evening. How are we all? How's it going? This is a bit slapdash now this week, I have to say, guys. Next week I'll be a bit more organised. It's just, as you can imagine, it was a bit of a monumental week. Hiya, Nick. How's it going? I'm gonna wait for people to come on before I get you on screen at some stage there, Mr. Khan. So spruce yourself up, because it is like, we know it's your day. We know it's your, what year are you, 28, 29? I mean, you couldn't be over 30. You're a young buck. You look amazing. Yeah, there you are. That's what I like, Nick. I'll be having a glass with you after this. Can you hear me okay? Are we on? Is everything working? Is everything toodly pip? Hi, Elizabeth. How's it going? 31, Nick, that's a great age. So you can hear me. Hiya, Tracy, thinking about you a lot. Sorry about the overly emotional messages last night. They were, it was a very emotional week for me. I mean, and I think I've another one to come ahead of me. All good, and another emotional week ahead of me. You know, it's great. So don't be afraid to talk among yourselves for the newbies that are here. 56 people on already. Whoa, I didn't get to say hello to everybody. Hi, Graham. How's it going? Hi, Carolina. Hi, Jenny. How are you? Tough times, Jenny. Thanks for that lovely post the other day about the Neil Diamond. You don't know how much it lifted me, and you don't know how much, you know, how close I feel to you and your dad over the years, because I'd lost mine quite a few years ago. And Joey, and yourself used to just make me, I don't know, just used to light me up inside. And I know that my dad's gonna keep an eye on your dad. And there she is. And much love to you, Jenny, in these very difficult times for all of us. You know, so hey, Sasko, how are you? Hi, Sophie, how's it going? How you doing, Martha? Good to see you on. As I say, this week's a bit slapdash. I haven't really got a lot organised for you to do with products or to do with Anton. So we'll just go with the flow and see how it goes. So if anybody's got any questions or anything they want to ask me, and I'm going to talk about a few things this week. And I'm actually going to talk about something that I'm seeing behind the chair as well. Hi, Michelle. How's it going? Hi, Christopher. How's it going, Christopher? How are you? I'm teaching Christopher particular slang words in European, and he's starting to get a real handle on it. You know, they're words I can't really say here live, but he's starting to get a real handle on it and understand how these words work. And I think he's going to give us a whole new twist on European slang mixed with the Jersey boy. You know, who cares? So glad we all be together. Exactly. Hello, Lisa Marie. How are you? It's so great that we can just be together tonight. And in the coming weeks, if we do all end up in isolation, and if we do all end up, if that's hiya, Leo. How are you? Thinking about you, sir. If we do all end up in that, we'll go live we'll go live regularly. And we will do things to help us all get through it. That's 100% guaranteed. We will do things to help us all get through it, because, you know, community is everything. And I've been thinking about that a lot this week. You know, I think, but I think straight off the bat, lives every night, Andrew. Yes, lives every night. I like getting the wine in. Hiya, Mark. How are you? We get the wine. Hi, Humberton. How are you? It's just great to see you all. Thanks for all being here. It's I don't, you know, it's hard to know where to start. It's hard to know if we even want to talk about it, do we? Because we're all like, we don't know what to be doing, and, you know, 24-hour news service. It's very hard to get away from anything. But just that I'll really get into it if you want me to, or I really want new and exclusive. Yeah, so Nick's working on a new tutorial coming to the show. Hiya, Mary. Hiya, Claire. Hiya, Federica. Great to see us all on. You know, hi, Colin. How's it going? There's Colin's the new UK director for Wella. Ain't no party like a Wella party. Ain't no party like a Wella party. We could be here going every night. It is crazy times. I mean, it's crazy times. One of a stylist who just came back to work for me, and one of my favorite people. After Thursday, which felt like I was in a movie. After after Donald Trump's stopping all the airlines, and then the Irish Prime Minister coming out and closing the schools. I just felt like, as we all did, just like, no matter what fear overtakes you, doesn't it, in that type of situation. And I was a little bit fragile, and I'm quite a strong person, and I do tend to bend into things. I'm a great believer that if you bend into a corner, you tend to go round it better, So I do, that does tend to be for me. Hiya Jane, how's it going? Looking forward to your video dropping in April. Let me know when you want me to check the edit for you. Hope you're keeping well. I hope your treatment's working well for you, and to know that everybody in the Weller family is thinking about you, and you're still doing a few shows and stuff like that, and helping people on the page and still inspiring people. You're a terrific lady. Well done. Well done. We love you very much, Miss Wallace. We love you very much. Hi Fallon, how's it going? I will just say though, before I start, I have seen a development with face frames before we even go any further, and I don't even have a tail comb with me, so you'll have to apologies. I'll send it over to me next week, Jane, and I'll have a good look at it. And you're still on the page helping people. You're still putting up inspirational posts. You're terrific lady, terrific member. Here she is. Hiya Alison, how are you, babes? How's it going? All right, babes. All right, Alison, how's it going? But I have on the face frames, I don't know if you'd seen any of my face frames. I might just go through a few products tonight, and then we'll talk about a few different things. How does that sound? And ask any questions you want or anything. And as I say, if we all end up in isolation, I'll be on here every night. Do you know what I mean? Because we are a community, and that's the thing. That's one of the things I think I just wanted to talk. I'll just go straight into it, because that when you're involved in something, when you're involved in something bigger, like a community, you're involved in something bigger than yourself, you do tend to go further for it. Like if you're involved with a football team or something, I mean, you'll go and train for your friends, or you'll go and exercise, and you'll score a goal for your friends quicker than you will for yourself. You will do things for other people, particularly hairdressers, because we are such givers in our lives. Lee Quinn's face frame is beautiful. He does a slice and a weave and a slice and a weave. But it's just a new section that I've been seeing, Alison. I've been doing it myself. So, hiya Ramsey, how are you? I've been doing it myself. So, just remind me, I'll go back to it, because I'm into this now. But we will definitely do more for others than we will for ourselves. And that's a really special thing. It's what really, really, really great about communities, and really, really great about this community, is that we do no matter whether we're isolated, or whether we have to stay at home for a few weeks for the good of the nation, or whatever we have to do in the world, that this community here is still your community, and that I'm still here, and that Nick's still here, and Pamela, and that hi Alan, and that everybody is just still stopped by my elderly neighbour. I have such a laugh with my neighbour down the road, because he's a real dub, and Dublin people, we tend to make humour about tragedy quite a lot. So I've been telling Peter it's been coming up the road, I'm saying, Peter, it's coming up the road, and he's be laughing at me, but now it is coming up the road, and I'm not concerned for myself, I have to say. I'm not concerned for my family. We're lucky we all have good health, God bless, and we're all quite well. Hiya Sophie, how's it going? Well done, Sophie Bees. She did the How to Cut a Community podcast. They interviewed her so our podcast is going live tomorrow. So if you want to hear about how she started her own business and finished her MCE and all that type of stuff, Sophie's podcast will be going live, and it'll be well worth a listen, because she's a very colourful character, as you know from seeing her on the page here with our posts. And I was deeply involved with trying to help her when she started her own business, and she didn't take long before she's become the sensation that she is. So I'll be looking forward to listening to it as well. Stuff, but like a good example of you doing things, that are bigger than yourself, is like when my first child was due, Aaron. It was like 11 or 12 years ago. I was a serious smoker. I loved smoking. I mean, I absolutely loved smoking. I was a dyed in the wool, cups of tea, cigarettes, Love smoking. You like to hear this, Tracy, don't you? The vape, and you and Nick on the vape. You're hard to believe looking at me that you didn't know, but I was a serious smoker, 20 to 30 or 40 a day. I loved them. Love you too, Sophie. Love you too. Come and see me in Manchester if May still happens, Sophie. It'd be lovely to see you there. You were there the last time I was in Manchester. It'd be good to see you there. But when my wife was due Erin, and it was my first child, it was 10 years ago now, or 11 years ago when she was due, I gave up smoking. I gave up. Now, for me to give up smoking, I was the seminal smoker. I would wake up in the morning, I would go straight downstairs, out, and I would, oh yeah, coffee, tea, fags, cigarettes, beautiful, loved them. Nothing I liked, yes, like proper smoker, Aubrey, proper smoker, but I gave up smoking for my daughter, because I would have never given up smoking for me, because I didn't have the love for myself that I probably should have, but I had a love for something that was bigger than me, and that was my daughter. And I didn't want to be the dad who was in the garden having a cigarette while she was upstairs crying. I didn't want to be the dad who was outside the door when she needed me because I was addicted to cigarettes. I didn't want to be there. So that gave me the impetus, because it was something bigger. You can give up. Sarah, you can give up. You just have to. You have to want to. It really has to be for something bigger than yourself. A lot of the time, you can. If I can give up, anyone can give up. And it was tough. And I put on a stone, which I'm now actually working on 10 years later at getting rid of. Do you know what I mean? But there's loads on tonight. God, there's loads on tonight. So that So I know from being in the chair, I behind the chair, I'm very lucky. I have a lot of very self-made people, very successful people who come into my chair, and a lot of them have said to me over the years that that when they found real success on their own, if they did something on their own and they were really, really successful, that it felt kind of empty. And and they'd made the money, but and they could buy the clothes and they could buy the stuff, but because it wasn't something, because it wasn't something that was part of something bigger, it didn't mean as much to them. It didn't mean it just didn't resonate with them. It wasn't as important. You stopped smoking 7 years ago when your brother died. See, Aubrey, I'm so sorry to hear that about your brother, but the same thing, something bigger happens in our lives. A lot of them, after they said to me after they sort of made their million or whatever like that they lost their vision, and they lost their connection, and they lost their vision for a little while, and they weren't able to create. They weren't able to, and to create is what gives us love. And on the page, it's the ability to be able to do some hair and take a photograph and tell people how you did it, and you created that, and you put it on the page, and you're so proud because it makes you a creator. And there is nothing in this world, I'm not saying that isn't important, but there's nothing in this world that really is as amazing as being able to share your creation with the community, and for the community to give you positive feedback. And oh god, yeah, no, I've lost a lot of friends to that, Aubrey. I've lost a lot of friends to drugs and stuff, as I'm sure we all are. Every family has its problems, every family has its issues. This is very true, isn't it? But that sorry, I lost me. That it is that connection, that ability to be able to do something and to create something that it doesn't matter if it's a limited creation, or it doesn't matter if it's one of the best creations in the world. It's still a creation from your heart and from your eyes and from your head, and that you've taken a picture of it and you shared it with the community. And it doesn't matter what the creation is. It just mattered that you created it, and that just creates an energy that you give to the community, and that the community gives back to you. And there is no greater thing. And in this particular time of our lives, we are being asked to give something bigger than ourselves. And some of us may be asked to become immune. Some of us may be asked to stand in the firing line. Some of us may be asked, you know, to stand in the beds beside of a corona ward, and to stand there in a hazmat suit for 12 hours and take care of our sick and of our old and of our healthy. And some of us will be asked to do things that will be really quite difficult, but but we will do them because they are something bigger than ourselves. And I voicemailed Tracy last night because we're both of a similar age, and we're both very different, but we both get each other. You know, Tracy gets me. Even if I drive her mad, she gets me. And I was so militant last night to Tracy. I was saying that I'd nearly just get it now and be immune, and then I'd go and volunteer in the hospitals. You know, I have personal liability insurance, I have Garda clearance, that I'd nearly go, and because for me that feels like the best thing that I could possibly do. So that if we are asked to do something bigger for ourselves, for our community rather than ourselves, it really is a wonderful thing, and not something to be afraid of. And because you will always do more for someone else than you will for yourself, and what you achieve alone has a little bit of an emptiness to it, to what you achieved. I mean, the best gigs that I enjoyed when I was doing were particularly with Shay Dempsey, who works for Sebastian, when we were starting out before he worked for Sebastian, and we were both just in cars travelling up and down to Belfast and getting models from colleges and doing shows with the seat of our pants. That we were, I love you too, Marta. They were the best times, because it was a vision that was bigger than ourselves. Hi Luca from Italy, I'm really thinking about us at the moment, from Italy. Ciao. Everybody's thinking about Italy at the moment, to send all your love to Italy. Yeah, I feel the same way, Susie. I kind of feel like, you know, I feel like I feel I'm ready to volunteer. I'm ready to do something bigger for myself. I have to say, I'm not you know, I'm just not. I'm not, you know, it's hard to explain, you know. I'm militant about it now at this stage. I'm so angry that something could stop our lives, and I think the strong. Listen, Luca, I'm thinking about you every day, and once it all clears, I'm going to come over to Italy, and I'm going to do a gig with you guys, and it'll be terrific. But every country's just like a domino. We're all just like 2 weeks behind Italy or 3 weeks behind Italy. You guys just seem to have the particularly strong strain of it, you know. So that to do look for something to connect that makes something bigger in your life, because they're the things that really, hiya Virginia, they're the things that really, 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 really help in your life. Hi Geraldine, you couldn't find me, could you not? But I'll show you this quick face frame as I'm here, and we'll go into a few products and a few different things, stuff like that. Because again, as you can imagine, I haven't had an absolute second. But as well, I really want to thank my team in the salon, because everybody deals with these issues in their own way, and everybody's got a right to do what's right for them and right for their family, and to make the right choices for them and for them as a family. And how I feel isn't how somebody else feels, and isn't that great? You know, hiya Haley. It you know, it isn't that's really okay. Do you know what I mean? That's hiya Leslie, how's it going? You back in work? And that's really okay as well. You know, that some people, but there was by Saturday there was a lot of customers called in to wish us well. We had the salon set up with the spacing as perfectly as we could. My cleaner who comes in stepped up, and the salon was like a doctor's surgery. My next door neighbour got us hand sanitizers, and all different types of stuff. And the salon was impeccable on Saturday. I felt it was as good as we could possibly be in these times. But the team were just incredible. I mean, every one of us who all feel different ways and all have different opinions about what should be done ahead, and how it should be handled, and what should be closed down and what should be opened up, and and everyone has different experiences to do with their lives and their children. But as a team, we took care of every customer, and they were amazing. And I actually left on Saturday evening, and I was singing in the car on the way home. Yes, it's very difficult for all of us we're not closed yet, Marta. We're not closed yet. We're still open and they're still booking appointments, but we'll obviously have to do spread out appointments, so that there's a lot less people in the salon, and that kind of thing. And let's just see what happens in the weeks ahead. You know what I mean? Let's just see how it goes. I mean, I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure how it's going to go. But back to the face frame, I suppose, really quickly, because I've seen this happening behind the chair, and it's a really small thing. And as I say, I don't even have a tail comb with me, so I'll actually show you how to do this next Sunday. But I'll show you what I feel is going down behind the chair. Okay, a little bit, because clients have been asking me for it. So let me see. So okay. So if you see this kind of face frame here, right? This is the one that was dried by the incredible Alberts there the other day. It's a beautiful blow dry, isn't it? It's a nice 70s feel. It's a nice 70s feel on on a face frame, because face frames are always so floppy and they're so low. They're always so low and so down. That really takes the light away, doesn't it? By putting it up there, is that better? Yeah. So you see the way there's a connection between the face frame here and the side. Now, I don't know, I've been seeing this behind the chair regularly, where clients are asking for an elongated face frame. They don't just want it to, if they have a haircut to here, if they have a, like, it's really aimed, wants to do a takeaway service. Julian's right. Don't mind him, Tracy. Julian's right. You gotta hustle in this day and age. You gotta hustle. There could be more job losses than anything else right now. You gotta hustle. But you see the way, you know what it's really aimed at. People who have a long bob, and they're now sort of growing out their long bob, and they want a face frame, and yet their hair isn't long enough. Well, you've got to introduce to the sides. So I've just been, there's my little Caitlin's, there's her communion dress. That's little Caitlin's communion dress. Do you like it? The poor girl, she probably won't get to make her communion. But there she is. And that's her little dress that she's after getting. Isn't that beautiful? She's just downstairs. Can't believe that came up. Yes, there she is. There she is. Isn't she looking gorgeous? Isn't she looking gorgeous? Yeah. And she didn't even pick the most expensive one. There was one there that was like 800 and something quid. 800 and something quid. I was like, thank God she didn't pick that. Here you go. There's our little communion dress, isn't it? So you go to this place, okay, and you pay 25 or 30 quid, and they get to try on 5 dresses, okay? It's like the dream for an 8-year-old kid. And they dress them in the 5 dresses, and they get to walk out here on the red carpet. You see the red carpet there? They get to walk out on the red carpet. It's just right behind the closed here. They get to walk out with the 5 dresses, and then they get to choose the 2. They get to choose the 2 of their favourites, okay? Look at her here. Look at her giving it all that. Look. Giving it all that. Look. Oh yeah. Giving it all that. So they get to choose their 2 favourite dresses, and then they go back in and they come back out with their 2 favourite dresses, and then they choose. Like, I mean, the excitement, because it's an hour, so they're wearing 5 dresses. I didn't even look at the prices. I didn't know that one was 300 quid and the other one was 8. I was picking them because, I'm a hairdresser. I was like, that. And that was the one she picked. And in the height of it all, you'll see her here she is doing her spins. Look, she's doing this is why she picked it. Hiya, Anthony, how are you? This is why she's picking it. Lots of love to you, Jane. Do you know why she picked it? Because she could spin in it, and the dress went around like that. It was absolutely amazing for her. So this is another dress that she had. This is another dress. She didn't pick this because it was too big for her. It was too big for her. But so that she has her dress. She may not get to wear it this year, but She had her full hour and she walked out with that one. And the twirl, you want to see Marta? I'll actually, guys, I'll put up the videos of her trying them on and the twirl if you think that's appropriate, because she is a Wella woman. She is a Wella girl, you know. And I'll put up the pictures of her coming out doing her reveal if you want. And if you all say you want to, hi Michelle, how are you, babes? I hope you're okay. I know it's difficult times. I'll put that up for you later. But if you have somebody with a long bob or a lob or whatever you want to call it, and you try to do a face frame here and you need to elongate in on the side, you need to introduce just the sides with the long bob to just make the face frame go all the way around, because they don't have enough hair. And I've been seeing this behind the chair. She won't see the girls. Well, Tracy, if they allow me to cancel, which I hope they will, you will see us in June or July or August. Do you know what I mean? You will see us, because I don't think we're going to be allowed to go now anyway. And I like, maybe you could do a bit of homework for me and you know, maybe ring that hotel and see if they're doing because I've paid it off already, you know. I'd still go, you know me. And how do they do their hair, Andrew? They just tie their hair up nice and simple. You know, they're nice and simple. Put it up, okay, I will put it up. But I've talked to them all, and she was in getting the dress, and the girls were all, I don't know, freaked out. And they were saying, oh, you're off school now. She's like, yes, I'm off school because of the coronavirus. And they were like, oh, you know, but I've talked to all my kids that, you know, about it. I think you're better off to just face it head on. You know what I mean? They lost my mum. They've been there before. So just, I suppose, quickly, if you're doing a face frame on a lob and you want it to be, you know, you wanted it to be like that, you need to get the sides involved as well. You know what I mean? You need to get the sides involved. So your face frame section here, as always, is the same type of thing, same type of face frame shape here, but then you need to get the side in as well. And if you just take the side forward, and I mean Lee's one is really great. He does like a weave and a slice and a weave and a slice. He does 2 slices and a weave and 2 slices and a weave. So I do a mini zigzag, you know, which is like the little zigzags. I do a little zigzag. You see the zigzag? And then I do a straight section. And of the straight section, I do a baby weave. Yeah? So I do zigzag, baby weave, zigzag, baby weave, zigzag, baby weave. I don't leave any hair out. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't leave any hair out. And then if you pivot up that through there, you'll get the face frame going all the way round to the sides, and you'll get that kind of feel. You know, you'll get that kind of vibe. So just turn and pivot like a cartwheel. If you want me to do a full one next week, I will. And as if I'm isolated, I'm going to do stuff every night. Do you know what I mean? Hi, Sira. Is it Sira? I never seem to know how to pronounce your name right, but how are you? Good to see you. You know, so let's see what happens. You know, let's see what happens. But that's so I'm seeing that behind the chair quite a lot, guys. So if you have somebody coming in, you know, or if you're working on something, and they have that length here and you want to create a face frame, the sides are in play now as well. And by putting the sides in play, you will get that kind of vibe. Do you know what I'm saying? Now you can see at the back, I just do sort of back comb weaves. Now that you can do it on both sides, Heather. So good question, Heather. Thanks. So if it was a side fringe, I do both sides. So you do it on both sides, Heather. Or let's say, good question, Heather. I love it, Heather. I love Heather, you're a ledge. You're a ledge. Good question. So if it was a side fringe, which I love a side fringe. I don't like the heavy middle. I'm sick of looking at them. I don't know about you guys, but I'm sick of looking at them. Do you know what I mean? So like if it was a side fringe, well then take a box. Okay, a box, kind of an inverted box section. like that. Take your box section. As I say, I like to do zigzag and then a weave, zigzag and a weave, leave nothing out. And then Heather, just go straight in on that side there. Straight in on that side there and just take it to about here and take them all forward, zigzag weave. So you'll get the curve here, the curve here, and the curve here. Good question, Heather. Really good question. You know, I'm demented already. I know it sounds bad, but we're going for dinner. Probably later on tonight. We're just gonna go somewhere where it's quiet and has a bit of communal spacing. We'll bring all our hands creams. We'll be very quiet. We won't even be drinking. But we're gonna support our local Italian restaurant. You know, if he's open, we're there, and that's the way. I told Tracy the other day about us supporting the local bars and going down and buying a drink and not even having one. There's just a strong unity and a feel that we have to protect each other's, because, you know, at the end of all this, there'll be a lot of tragic deaths, but there could be a lot of tragic job losses, and then businesses, and then once that starts, I've been there before. I don't leave anything out. Okay, I'll show you. No, I leave a little bit out of the weave. Okay. So there's your zigzag, Martha. So you do your zigzag, Martha, and then of your zigzag, of your shape, I'll grab a pen. We'll do it at the sides. It's probably easier at the sides. Oh, Martha. Booked themselves into hotel, all inclusive plus live. Okay, good, not food. No, I don't skip a section. So, here. So there's the first section, Martha, yeah? There's your little mini zigzag. See it? There's your zigzag. Yeah, little mini zigzag. Yeah? You put that in, and then you're not taking a new section. You're taking the same section. Oh, Andy, I'm not your daddy. I thought everybody knew. It's a Peter Kay joke. I don't know if any of you has heard it. So then, this zigzag is here, and this is still the same section as the zigzag section. You with me, Martha? So you just weave that. And it breaks the line, and you just feather it at the root. And you feather it at... You know what? I'll do one for you. Next week all the way. I'll actually bring home some. Sure, what else will we be doing? How are you, Alan? How's it going? She's stuck here right now. They're flying home, the people from Lanzarote, on Thursday, Tracy. It's just been... a friend of mine works in the airlines. I don't know if it's been announced, but they're going to fly home, everybody from Lanzarote, on Thursday, I believe. You know, they're more worried for you guys. They're more worried about what's been brought into the islands, because Lanzarote is quite clean and they want to keep it that way, and I don't blame them. You know, I don't blame them. So that's just a little face frame thing that, you know, if clients are coming in with a long bob and you're trying to work out what to do, that this is definitely a trend behind the chair. You know, that you're definitely looking at putting the sides in as well, and then you're bringing it all the way down like there, you know, all the way there. Still beautiful, people. Yeah, it's day to day for us as well. Heather, I will keep going as long as I possibly can. I can't see, I mean, they haven't said they're going to pay sick pay yet. They haven't said what they're going to do. They keep advising, and in other words, that means they want you to do it. They're not going to do it, and that's not going to work out for an awful lot of people. They're going to need to step up and help the self-employed workers. They're going to need to stick up and help the freelancers. They're going to need to stick up and help the small business owners. You know, there's a delay in the VAT payments, but they'll still have to be paid. You know what I mean? There's a delay by the month where you don't have to make your tax or VAT payments, but they'll still have to be paid. You know, so that's a beautiful picture. Do you like that, Jane? That's a beautiful picture. Well, that is exactly that shape. Zigzag weave, zigzag weave, zigzag weave. But the difference is that you're bringing the sides in. You know, you're bringing the sides in. I really want a glittery tint brush. Oh, you want one of these These, I'd like, that's a good question. Let's find out when they're available. You know, that's a really good question. And one of these guys, you want one of these, is it? The Illumina with the clear brushes. You know, they're beautiful brushes, aren't they? They're lovely. They're lovely, 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 lovely brushes. Yes, we have the salons like a hospital. I've never had it. I've never had the hospital. So a few different products. People were asking me about particularly about the pH balance products and stuff like that. Hi Miriam, how are you? And as I said, I'll organise something really good for you next week. But it's been one of those weeks. But I'm going to go through a few different products that we use behind them, because somebody said to me, "What do you use behind the basins? You know, what are your go-to different products behind the basins?" And I have to say, the number one product that's go-to at the moment is the Fusion range. Okay, I don't know if you all have used the Fusion range. You know, it's a shampoo, conditioner, mask, and it has a thing called the amino filler. Now, I don't know if you know what the amino filler is, but you look for the most damaged areas in the hair, and it's like a liquid. Hey Mandy, how are you? It's like a liquid. I love Fusion as well. It's like a little liquid, and you put the liquid on the most damaged areas of the hair. Pour the liquid in. I'm going to bring you one over, Tracy, when I'm over. If it's not by Christmas, I'm going to bring you over an amino filler because you'll love it. So you put all the amino filler on the most damaged and dry areas, and then you use heat, just little gentle heat, and you just bake it in. Okay, it usually takes 5 to 10 minutes is about the right time to do it. 5 to 10 minutes, and you just bake in that amino filler. Nobody's really using it, and it's an amazing product. Like the filler is an amazing product. I'll try to see if I have a picture of it here. So I always do it the styling chair. You see how they're doing it? They're just painting it on like a pen, like a bottle. Just put it in the most damage. Is the Fusion too? But do you have the actual liquid, Tracy? Do you have the liquid? I can't believe it's too heavy for your hair. Your hair must be getting in good nick, Tracy. Use a pin size. Yeah, you don't need a lot, Tracy. You just need a tiniest bit of it. But the amino filler, if you dry it in and then you just rinse it out. If you rinse it out and you find that your hair is really heavy, don't use the mask. Just use the normal conditioner, and it's enough. That a lot of people use the amino filler as part of the mask, and they use it with the mask, and they feel they have to use it with the mask. But I actually, tip from my Uncle Andrew behind the chair, I actually much prefer to use the amino filler on its own, 5 to 10 minutes, and get it in, and then just use the conditioner on its own, and it's incredible. It just gives you serious volume, and it gives you serious strength. And people say after the blow dry lasts really, 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 really well. I mean, Fusion is aimed at all hair, like it's for all sort of hair types. You know, it's really but I think it's particularly good on heat. Do you know what I mean? Yes, for it to work, Michelle, you really, 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 really. They do backwash size in the conditioner in Ireland, Leslie, for sure, 100%. We use it all the time. So, we have it. So I don't know. I'll take a picture of ours so you can show the UK team. Maybe we're getting ours from a different part of the world than you are, but we have the large conditioner size and we have the large mask size, and it's on the Wella store. So I don't know if it's not on the UK one, but it's definitely on the Wella store there. Sorry, mate, I'm late. The government just told us we have to close. That's okay, Salas. You know, let's see what's going to happen now. You know, it's let's see what's going to happen. Let's see what's going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to happen, but if it does, we'll be coming live all the time. I'll go in, I'll bring home everything from the shop, and we'll be here. I'll bring home a basin. We'll be here having the crack, because community is everything, and there's no way I want to be isolated. There's no way I want any of you to feel it's isolated. They don't do large conditioners in oil reflections. That I don't know now. That I don't know. Let me check for you here. Let me find out for you in oil reflections if they don't use the large one. But in the Lux oil, which is another oil one, which is in the System Professional, they do a large conditioner in. So I'm not sure whether they do it in that one or not. But the Oil Reflections, has an elixir which is pretty amazing as well if you use with just normal conditioner. I don't know if any of us have used that one. Have you used they do Infusion UK. Okay, I don't know. They use that in the UK. It's really, 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 really good. But to try the amino filler, dry it in with some heat, 5-10 minutes, rinse it, and just use a normal social interaction is but we get to connect here through our phones. We can talk to each other, and we can post pictures. We'll do things where we'll do our favorite pictures since the page started over the last 2 years, and all that type of stuff. And now that everybody's on and there's a lot of people on live, I just like to wish Mr. Nick Khan the happiest of birthdays. Everybody out there, give Mr. Nick Khan, he's 31 today. He's been 31 for, I don't know, maybe I'd say like it could be 19 years. So I don't know, it could be less, could be 18. I'm not quite sure. He's ageless in time, Mr. Khan. And so funny. Before I started the page, I was working as an admin on another page, and Nick is very he's very good. He's very well. He would never say anything out of turn. That kind of way. He's very funny like that. He'd always say the right thing at the right time. Nick. He's just he'd be good in government. Put him that way. He'd be good in government. Give everybody, wish him a happy birthday. Everyone on, wish him a big happy birthday. He won't come on live in the mornings because he's coming from Canada, and it's like 9 in the morning over there, and he's been on the sauce Saturday night. He's been hitting the bottle, and he's in an awful way. Every Sunday when I come live here, he's hanging from the night before with a few jars. Do you know what I mean? That's but in the community we must light the torch. Every time I help you and I light the flame, then you light the flame and you help somebody else light the flame, and then use somebody else to light the flame. It costs nothing for you to light a match in somebody. I see people coming on the page and they have no experience and they don't know what they're doing, and they're looking at all the colours, and they're overwhelmed, and they won't put up their own pictures and they won't do anything. And then they see a picture and a little flame goes off in their heart and a little light goes off in their heads, and then 6 months later they're posting pictures, and that's because of somebody on the page has lit the torch and passed it on to them, and it costs you nothing to do, and you can change somebody's complete career and complete life by just inspiring them with your pictures from behind the chair. And isn't that an incredible thing? Isn't that just an incredible thing? Because before they would have had to go, and do a course that, that they would have never been able to afford to do, or never been able to go and do, but that now, it's so important that you pass. It takes nothing from you and it gives everything to them, okay? So don't, remember that. Remember to create that in these times of difficult times. It's so many people, anybody who came on the page who I've explained like that, anyone who came on and was like that and then lit the torch and they're now posting their pictures, just put it up in their comments, or put it up as a post of appreciation, because you know what, that will light somebody else's flame and it'll make them go, well, if she did it, I can do it, and as we spoke about before, education is just education. It's just feedback. That if things don't work out for you straight off the bat, it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you, or to get annoyed or to get upset. That it's just a part of the learning process, and failure is a part of the learning process for so much of us on here, and to always to give it back and to light that flame, because it doesn't matter what level you are at. If you're a creator, and everybody who's on this thread tonight is a creator, every single person who's on this thread, because within any type of communities there's always different levels of people that you have to understand. That there's the chairman and the people who run it, like the admin and us on the page, and then there's the players, the players who create and who people just love and who they inspire. And that's all you guys on the threads here that are watching Sunday service. You're all creators and you're all players. And then there's the audience and the fans who come every week, who are not feel they're good enough players, but who will try to become players because they watch you play. And then there's the audience who just like to be a part of it and who are just huge loyal supporters. And then there's even the people who are outside the stadium who go, I wouldn't pay to go and see a game, but yet they listen every day to the sound, and they love it too. They just won't admit it, so that's a huge part of community. You make us feel like we matter to you. It's truly, Harvey, you do matter to me, because every little bit I give, I get back. Every little bit that I give, every little bit I give, I get back. I get back 20-fold. This is the thing I never understand with people who are afraid to give, because you have to give to receive, because every time you give, another door opens. So for me to learn something new and to get better at what I do, or to be who I am, or to do anything in this life, I must give if I'm to receive, and I'm open to receiving. It's when you're not open to receiving that's a problem. It's when you give so much of yourself and then somebody goes, you're a really great person. You're, oh, no. And you're not willing to receive that, their love, well, then that's a problem. Because if you're going to give, you have to be open to receiving. And it's a huge thing. Hairdressers are such givers in life. They're such givers, but they're not great receivers. They're afraid to up their prices, or they're afraid to charge their worth, or they're afraid to see the light that they bring into people's into people's lives. But if you give in life, you must be able to receive, because it's as big a sin. It's as big a sin to give and to not receive. It really, really, really is, because you have to have both sides of the coin. You'll often see that famous sign in Tai Chi, the yin and yang. The yin and the yang, the duality. You can't have love without hate. If you try to shave hate off, all you'll end up is just shaving the whole coin away. That there's a duality in life, but that the duality of giving and receiving is something that you have to be able to do. You really have to understand that if you don't give, you are blocking life. You are blocking the universe, and you're blocking life from being able to give you what you deserve, because we all give behind. There's no better people in this world than hairdressers. Good hairdressers who can change people's lives. They are rock stars. Do you know what I mean? And whether it's a little old lady, we had a little old lady who came into the shop about a week ago, and she was like, she was just a beautiful woman, a really amazing lady. And she was in her late 80s, early 90s, and I'm 2 floors up, and she got up the stairs. I was like, how are you here? And she was just like, I have to get my hair done. I was like, and this is now with the coronavirus going through, and the fear was everywhere. And she came in and she got her hair done. And the Hazel did her hair, and Hazel lit her up. She lit her up, and it made my day. It made my day. And as I said to Hazel, I said, you gave so much of yourself there, and she was able to receive it, and that is an amazing thing. So if you give, be open to receiving, because it's a hugely important part of life. Do you know what I mean? It's really, really, really not to be afraid, not to think that it's a sin to receive, that if somebody wants to bring you out for dinner, or somebody wants to buy you a lot of money, but wants to spend a lot of money with you, or nearly every one of my clients yesterday bought retail in the salon before they left. I was saying it to Tracy last night, like they literally cleaned me out of retail yesterday. The staff knew that we need to sell some retail, but we didn't need to. The clients wanted to help. The clients wanted to. They were literally the first client who came in was my client at 9 o'clock in the morning, and she bought 3 packets of hair growth vitamins, and she bought 2 shampoos and 2 conditioners. Her retail bill was over €250 before she paid for her hair, and I'm well over 200 quid for a head of highlights. And then she got a cut, and she put that money in the till for us yesterday. And I received that gratefully, okay, because I need to receive that, because I need to try and help my guys. I need to try and get them through. And she wanted to give it. And if I'm like, oh, no, I have to suffer through this, that's just not the way life works. If the universe is sending someone to help me, I have to be open to receiving it. And right now, if everyone on this thread is a giver, everyone on this thread is a giver. And you have to become a receiver and not be embarrassed about it, and not be afraid to be embarrassed about it. You do have to have your boundaries, which is a different thing, because in hairdressing, an awful lot of people, because they don't have the knowledge they need, they don't have the level of experience or the level of education that they need, that this affects their confidence. And that they don't have proper boundaries behind the chair. They don't have boundaries between the clients. That you don't have that respect inside yourself because you feel you're not as good as you should be. And that makes you feel that you're not good enough. And therefore it breaks the signal of giving and receiving, because you feel you're not giving what you should be giving. But then if you make yourself better, this is what happens, okay? Hi, Majel, how's it going? This is what happens. That the higher your standards become, like the better you get and the higher your standards become, your tolerance level drops, Hi, Heather. Hope you're okay. Such an overwhelming truth. It is, Majel, and I don't know how this has come up tonight, but I'm so glad it's come up, because I came on here with a wing and a prayer, highly emotional, because I was Christine, as I said, Christine, who I love, she just love her as a hairdresser. And she went to work for Wella as a tech, and it broke my heart losing her, because she's just such a talent. But she got offered a fantastic job at Wella, and if I was her age, I would have taken it 100%. But whatever's happened, she's come back to work for me, and I'm watching her doing her work, and I'm thinking, this girl is a serious talent, This girl is a serious talent, and great fun, and a real giggler, and makes me laugh. And on the height of it all, on Friday morning, she says to me, Andrew, I'm pregnant. And I was like, I'm so over the moon for you. It's such fantastic news to have that as well. So it's great news, is all the way around, to hear that it's just, life is life, and that great things happen for great people, and that I'm just delighted to have such a talent back in the chair. But that you have to be open to receiving, and to understand that the higher your standards are as a person, and the better you are behind the chair, you will naturally have lower tolerances for people who don't respect that, and who don't want to give for you. You will naturally, so those type of customers who are those type of people in your life, who I call rocks. No matter what you do, they just go to the bottom. No matter what you say to them, they go to the bottom. They always have an answer, and they always drop to the bottom. They just tend to leave your life, because your standards are way too much for them. Your standards are just way too high. So that if the better you get through education and through giving, the better you are at receiving. But every customer who came into the salon yesterday, they bought retail, they supported us massively, and I was driving home singing Westlife. Do you know what I mean? I was singing Westlife because I know, again, Christine used to love the band when she was younger, and I was just thinking of her news and how happy I was for her, and and that there's that the more you get, the more education you do, the higher your standards you get, the lower your tolerance will be for that type of behaviour, and the less likely those people will be in your chair, the more successful you will be, and the better you will be able to receive good things coming into your life. But you've got to give, and when you give, you've got to receive. So these things are really, 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 really happy. We should both be similar, So that, so I hope that helps a little bit. No, I'm on an hour already. That's great. I hope that helps, that to be open to receive, and I hope that helps. What other products were we looking at? Let me have a look here and see. I think next week I'll do the Sebastian range. Would you all like to know? Because it's a huge range, Sebastian. I know that for freelancers they're not able to carry it, but it is an amazing, amazing range. I don't know if any of you has used the Colour Recharge blend. Have you used the Colour Recharge blend? Okay, they've got a warm red and a warm copper and a warm brunette. So they're like coloured conditioners. But the red in this one, okay, the red conditioner. See the red conditioner in this? The red conditioner in Colour Recharge. If you just... Yes, please, you're thinking of... Okay, we'll do Sebastian for you, Emma. But the red conditioner in the Colour Recharge, if you put it on blonde hair, it just gives you the nicest sort of slightly salmony pink. And for people who just want... You want to do Wellaplex? Okay, we'll do that as well. We'll bring home the bottles. That's no problem, Laurie. I hope you're well. It helps a lot, Andrew. I'm glad it helps a lot. It's very important to be able to receive in life. It was a lesson that it was a lesson that was really, really absolutely favourite to read. So they have a cool blonde range in that, which is absolutely amazing as well. So it's got all the silver blondes that people like to use. But my favourite product of all is the red conditioner on blonde hair. It's non-committal. It doesn't really tend to hold in there. It's like one or two shampoos and it's gone. And that's all people need. But if I do something like a pink, like I'm doing a 595 or a 1095 or 065, I do tend to sell them the red conditioner, and it keeps the pink in their hair for much longer, because most people want pastel shades when they want the pink, and pastel shades don't last more than 2 weeks because they're pastel shades. How are they going to last? If you bought a pair of jeans that were that colour, you'd wash really quickly. But I would highly recommend for all you guys out there who love the pink to invest in a bottle of this bad boy here. See it? Red Recharge. And that will now I love the warm copper. I use the warm copper one on let's see, where is it? The warm copper. You know the warm copper because it has the orange label on it here. See it, the orange label on it. I love the warm copper. I love it on all my brunettes. If I want something to warm them up, I use it, and I use it also on my coppers. You know what I mean? Now it's not that strong that it's gonna really. It'll just give you an essence of copper, but I really like what it's called. It's in Vargo. It's called Colour Recharge. Martha, I'll show you the bottle again. So there it is, Colour Recharge. Colour Recharge. It doesn't come in backwash size, Emma. And you know what, Emma? That drives me mad. Because it's a small bottle, and you know when your hands are full of suds and you're trying to get it out. But it doesn't come. But I do use it behind the basins. And if I'm doing like a 707, 775 tint, you know that real, that's one of my favourite caramel tints, 707 and 775. It's a cracker. I do quite a lot of that. I'll always finish it off with the warm conditioner, you know. And it's absolutely beautiful. So if you're going to invest in ones like the red over blondes, will give you the most gorgeous pink. Beautiful. I remember the ME Plus was just released here for sale 2 weeks ago, and I don't think orders came in now. I'm not quite sure. I think mine came in. The one good thing about the Colour Recharge is that the pH is not heavily alkaline. For some of the really, really blonde shampoos, they're really quite aggressive because they're trying to push the silver into the hair. And by them doing that, they push the toner out. Do you understand what I mean? They'll even push out natural base colours. Some of you'll often see some of a young girl coming into who's been using like a really cheap silver shampoo all summer, and her base colour has lightened 2 or 3 shades. There's 1 or 2 I can mention, and it's that strong that it will push the natural pigments out of the hair, because it's got to go in somewhere. You've never heard of Colour Recharge? No, it's part of the Vargo range. Wait till I see if I get another picture. I love that now. I love that James Bond. I'll show you here. I'll show you here now, bro. Boom shakalaka laka, boom shakalaka. That's what you want right there, okay? See them right there? Yeah? Yes. I was reading there. See right there. So I'm sure, I don't know if you can, I don't know what you have to follow to carry Sebastian. I don't know. It's just such a huge range. It would be very difficult to carry, you know. My supply list is bigger than my business. So you don't. I spent $2,000 yesterday just on stock, and I mean, supposedly I could be closed this week. You know, the boxes could arrive and I mightn't even be open, and I ordered $2,000 worth of stock. But that's because my beautiful clients cleaned me out of retail because they wanted to make sure that there was a few quid in the bank so we could try and help each other through this mess. You know, so but in Vargo they sell to everybody, I believe. You know, they sell this to everybody. You know. Can you get the Sebastian stuff? See, that I don't think so. I think it's just I think you have to take the whole range, you know. But it's I don't think it's aimed at freelance. I'm not quite sure. But it's an amazing it's an amazing range, and we'll do it. I mean, if your home salon if you had an account with the Wella store, and you could do an opening order, I'd imagine you could. I'm really not quite sure. But it's a range that I love very much. But it's not something that you actually have to have. With the Emmy range as well, you know, the Emmy range is really good as well, and the Envargo range is really good. But these are terrific, okay? They are terrific, particularly over brunette hair, and particularly over brunette hair. I love the warm copper over brunette hair. It's stunning. And I love the red over blonde hair. It just gives the most beautiful pink. And then obviously you have the colour Recharge in Cool Blonde, which, as Tracy said, it's very gentle. It doesn't dry out the hair, and it just gives you that kind of tone if you're looking to get will do it for you. You know what I mean? But it's quite an edgy brand, Sebastian, as well. So a lot of the products are quite strong. I use the gel. That's what's in my hair. It's called Liquid Steel, and it actually is like liquid steel, and it's like one of those old school gels. I love it. It's like one of those old school gels from the 80s, but it's water soluble, and this is so important, particularly for men's scalp, because a lot of the products that are not water soluble build up on a man's skin really easily, and then his hair, he can have hair loss because of it, you know. So, but this, it washes out like immediately. That's why I love it. You know what I mean? But you know, it's these days now you can have there's freelance Wella accounts and Wella store and all that type of stuff. So I don't see, the main problem is that when you don't know who you're selling the products to, if they end up on Amazon and eBay, you have to be able to track the numbers, so that you have to be able to find out if people are selling these products on online, and that is the big issue right now. I've had to sign a few contracts with a few over the years that if something ended up on Amazon, that I would end up in trouble, you know. And I had to sign a disclaimer when I took in Assistant Professional, which I totally agreed with, because I could open up a business in my wife's name tomorrow on Amazon, eBay, Walmart, anywhere, and I could sell anything, and nobody would know the better of it, and that's yes, you can sculpt with it, you can do finger waves with it, Angela, you can do everything with it. It's a terrific gel. It's phenomenal. I love it. I like the texturizer lotion as well. I like microweb fibre. I love craft clay, but liquid steel is my favourite, and then the hairspray is Shaper Fierce Reshaper. Emma, yeah, I'll be on next week for that. Hi, lovely, can't stay on tonight. I'm away with work tonight. That's fine, Kelly. Great to see you. I hope you're keeping okay. And that's really it. And again, just to finish off that story of Mr. Nicholas Kahn and happiest birthday to him, we were on another page and he was very, this is how I felt. It makes me laugh so much. He was being really nice, and I was saying, Nick, these guys and these people on the page, they don't particularly, they're not really pro Wella, and they're removing posts, and you're welcome, Emma, and Nick was like, oh no, I'm sure it's okay. And I said, well, Nick, they've actually been removing your posts. And he was like, what? And he just went from, I'm sure it's okay, to, right, I'm not having it. And that's when I fell in love with Nick Kahn. He made me laugh. He used very colourful language when I told him they were removing his posts because he works for Wella, and he was like not a happy camper, and I cracked myself laughing, and we've been mates ever since, and he's been a huge help on the page here to me. He's been a huge help. I'm looking very slim. Yes, I've lost a little bit more weight, Karen. A little bit more weight. Thank you very much. I'm shrinking ever so slowly. Thank you for noticing. I bought a lovely new gorgeous sweatshirt, for very expensive one, which I was gonna put on here tonight, but then I just decided not to, because I bought it for Seville, because I was supposed to be in Seville this weekend with all the winners from International Trend Vision from around the world. We were going to spend 4 days together in Seville, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Was it? Yeah, it was a Thursday. I was flying on Thursday. So Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I was flying home Monday. 60 countries, 60 winners. Do you know they have a matte putty, Lorraine, which is like a mixture of both. So it's matte and it's a putty, and it's not liquid seal. I don't like matte in my hair because my hair is grey already. So, if you put matte on grey hair already, you can look like you're, in the cast of Les Miserables. You know what I mean? You can just look too dusty. Do you know what I mean? And you can just. So I don't like matte products in my hair. I like it's the fear diet. Shit yourself, to see what's going on in the world. No, it's not. It's not that. Yeah, I'm on a specific diet. I want to get to a weight where there's a certain, like, where your cholesterol's at a perfect weight, where you've no problem to worry about diabetes. I mean, it's not going to stop you getting ill, it's not going to stop you getting sick, but there's a good weight for you to be at a certain age, and I would like to be in and around that target weight to protect myself from cholesterol, heart disease, blood pressure, diabetes, all the things that you take a pill for, that you can take a pill for really quite easily, and then come 70 you've no liver because you've been taking pills since you were 50. It's not a good idea to start these pills in your 50s. I mean, if you're in your 60s and your 70s, your 80s, I don't think it makes as much a difference. But if you start a lot of these pills quite young, they can have a detrimental effect on your liver and kidneys. And if you can do it with your diet and you can do it with exercise, well then do it. And I was kidding myself for 2 years that I'll do it with this and I'll do it with that and I'll do it with the other. And I wasn't doing any of it. Do you know what I mean? And I was only getting bigger, not smaller. So I decided that I wanted to do this because I obviously want to stay young and active for my family and for my kids. And the Tong diet, Tong. One day I'll come on a Tong for you, Leslie. You know what I mean? You'd love it. When I'm at that level, I did used to do kissograms years ago, Leslie. But that's one of these days you'll ask me. It's a specific diet, and I won't go into it tonight. But I rang the hospital that were that have had like 70% reversal in diabetes, and I asked them how they did it, and they recommended a specific type of drink that you take twice a day, as a meal replacement, and then in the evening I just eat what I want and go mad like tonight. Leopard skin. Leslie, you'll have to pay that. Leslie, leopard skin is extra. As long as you know. I mean, I have a full list of extras for you, Leslie. So if you bring the credit card, there'll be no problem. Do you know what I'm saying? If you bring the credit card, I'll wear the leopard skin. I've worn them before. I used to dress as a priest when I was doing the kissograms. And if any of you think that I'm lying, do you think you look in my eyes? Okay, I used to do kissograms years ago. I'll do anything. If I have to make a few quid, I will hustle. You know what I mean? I will hustle. Someday I'll tell you the story about somebody asked me, like, tell us how you made money that was illegal or legal, and I was like, I said I could write a book. Do you know what I mean? I could write a book. Now you're okay. Now, Leslie, don't let me down now. Don't let me down. Seafood diet. Don't let me down now. My birthday's coming up in August, so it's a bit away, guys. It's a bit away. Hi, Sherry. How are you? I know you do. So that's it for tonight, guys. As I said, we'll come back and we'll do a really strong Sebastian. Think about the let's see, what are we on? Yes. Think about that face frame, okay, and about bringing the sides into it. And really be thinking about and be really proud of what you're doing in the community, because every time you post a picture you help somebody, and every time you answer a question or you give somebody a like, or you light the torch for them. And remember that at one stage you were on the page, you were in the community, and you were starting off looking at people doing work, and you were like, I'll never be able to do that work, and then 6 months later you're able to do that work. And Sherry, and to really, really, really mind yourselves right now. Don't live in fear. Just mind yourselves and take proper precautions. You know, number one, wash your hands, okay? Wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. As I say, I'll be going to work every day until they tell me I can't. My only particular concern is obviously public transport. I take public transport to work, home, and I take public transport to work every morning, and that's always a slight concern for me. But that only because I don't want to make anyone sick, and I don't want to get sick myself. But if I get sick, you're welcome, Leslie. You're welcome. Yeah, wash your phones. That's a really good one, Susie. Wash your phones. Keep an eye on it. Keep yourself, but keep the proper precautions, and do the right things, and hopefully we'll keep going for as long as we can. So much love to you all, and I hope we didn't go into it too much and didn't make anybody more afraid than they are already. Remember, we live in a world of 24-hour news, and they have to keep creating news for 24 hours, and they have people just making up stories to keep you, to keep you on so that they can get their advertisers. So they're just making stuff up as they go along, and just, I had a good few cancelled. I only did 3 clients yesterday. I did a video the other day, Leslie, on a video where I was sending it to a friend of me coughing because I was taking the mickey, and then someone really got upset with me, so I can't do that again. And but it was funny, and you can imagine who I was sending this Facebook. I was doing a live with a friend of mine, and you can imagine. He was like, he dared me, and I don't back away from a dare. I'm not the type. You know what I mean? And I did, and it was very funny. It was not funny, but it was very funny. You know what I mean? It was very funny. I'm glad it's made you all feel better. Remember, the earth's still out there. The birds are still singing. The sun is still coming up. The sun is still coming down. And if we didn't have 24-hour news, all we'd be talking about was how bad a flu season this was this year, and that the hospitals are overrun. And did you get a flu? Did I get a flu? Oh my God, it was the worst flu we've seen in a generation. That's what we would be saying. Okay, we wouldn't. But it is amazing, and it is amazingly that humans have come that far, that they were able to track a virus across the world and protect the old and the vulnerable and keep them in their houses. It's an incredible thing. It's something that's really amazed about, but it's also hugely overwhelming because we've never ever had that before. It was like when we saw the first sort of live trials on Sky News or something, and you were watching like trials with OJ Simpson or something like that. It was like something we'd never seen before. The whole world were watching the same thing, and it was like a moment where you were like, oh my God, we're like, if I'm living in America, or if I'm living in California, or if I'm living in Dublin, we are all watching the OJ Simpson trial. It was like a moment. You know what I'm saying? And this is a very similar thing, but it's a virus, and it makes us really, really scared. But to understand that if that wasn't there, we'd just be getting on with our lives, and all those people who were vulnerable, and all those people who were in situations where they had lung issues, or they were at a certain age, wouldn't have had the opportunity to get through it like they do now because of the World Health Organization, and because of the data that's been coming out of China, that they've been able to see what works and what doesn't work. It's that it isn't actually an incredible thing, but to understand that you just need to really look to the World Health Federation, and to look to people who are smarter than us, who are trying to do the best for us, but they have saved, they have, people are saying about so many lives have been lost, but they have saved absolutely hundreds of thousands of lives by being able to track and protect this as best as they can. And it's a global event. It is a global event, and OJ was a global event. There's certain things that are just global. Live Aid was a global event. And this is a really scary global event, and it can get slightly overwhelming. You think they're coming to get you, but it's a virus, and Some of us will get sick and most of us will get better, and to remember that. But it's an opportunity for your neighbours or for your elderly people to stay indoors, to keep themselves isolated and to get through this, which they wouldn't have had before. 100% we would have just been saying, Jesus, I've never seen a flu like it was this year. Never seen a flu like it. The hospitals were overrun. Everyone was sick. All the nurses were sick. All the doctors were sick. Everybody was sick. And so many people passed away. Oh my God. Oh my God, you ever see a flu like it? That's what we'd be saying. It wouldn't be like it is. And that's a two-way sword, In one way, it can be so overwhelming because you cannot get, and your brain is hot wired to try and find solutions for negative problems. And you really have to sort of make your brain go looking for positive solutions, to go looking for things. So you really have to sort of you have to be able to keep it at a distance. But the World Health Federation have saved so many lives, and the work they're doing in Iran and the work they're doing in Italy. I believe some of the best Chinese doctors are travelling to Italy tonight to help them with the crisis and to help them get through it. It's incredible. And if you do have an elderly neighbour, keep in touch with them. Ask them if they need a bit of shopping done. If you do have somebody who's got underlying health issues and they're staying indoors, see if you can help them. A quick text message, a quick Facebook Live. If they're hairdressers, invite them to the page and they can watch me waffle on here. I'll be on every night if they get rid of me. And I'll put up pictures of my little one's communion dress pic, and that'll be, so everyone can put up a picture of the women of Wella, And I had a story again, the broccoli story, which I haven't told yet, but it's Karen. I don't know if Karen's on live. I don't think she is, so I'll tell that one during the week. I might just do a live on this story that a great friend of mine, Mike Kemsky, told me, and it stayed with me. And I think it'll stay with you guys. It's a really wonderful story. And I'll tell you that during the week. And her hair's going to be literally clipped up. Let me, Martha, hang in there. I'll see if I think she'll probably just have it tied up, Martha. Let me see. Because I'd say she'll just have it actually like it is, Okay. Do you know the way the two ponytails, the way you have a ponytail? You have a clip here, and then you have another clip here where you got 2 or 3 ponies mixed together. That's most likely how she'd wear it. Do you know what I mean? There's her little dresser. That's the girl she got for an hour to dress her. How exciting it is to see her like that. To see her to get that hour. It was the best money I ever spent. Look at her checking herself out in the mirror. Look. Loving it. Look at her loving it. Look. On the move. Look. And then she's trying an umbrella. Look. Oh, look. She was doing ballet moves. Isn't it fantastic? Life goes on. Life goes on. And as I said, a few years ago, we'd have just been saying that was some flu season. I can't believe it's still going. We'd be saying to ourselves, look, it's March and it's still flu season. Flu season stops in February. And that's when the penny would have dropped that this wasn't a flu. But we have to keep it in perspective. It's an opportunity for us to save the elderly and the people with underlying health issues, to help them and to help them get through this. For the rest of us, I don't think we have as much to worry about as we think. And certainly for me, I feel, I feel I've done more. I did a week in Ibiza once that did more damage to me than that would, I think, and I wouldn't not do that week again. But I came back from that week in Ibiza and I was a broken man. I was a broken man after that week in Ibiza, but it was a hell of a week, as you can imagine. Okay, guys, much love to you all. I'll talk to you during the week. I'll put up some pictures of Caitlin and I'll put up the videos. Post your favourite pictures this week. I mean, I left 3 or 4 beautiful heads. I forgot to take their pictures this week. It was just so emotive. It was so emotional. I didn't take that many pictures. I'm only getting on now. I'm still going. But Mandy, it's an opportunity to keep them clean, keep them in the house. keep them from isolation, and they'll be fine. Hopefully they'll be fine, and they'll get through it. They have a friend of mine, who was telling me that they're trying a rheumatoid arthritis drug, on some of the very sick patients in Italy, and over the last few days, and that they're seeing some progress with this, helping them breathe and helping them getting their lungs through it. And I don't even know. They don't even know themselves how it's working. But you go looking for solutions and you'll find them. You go looking for problems and you'll find them. But so, there's always a solution. I love you. I love to all you guys. Don't be afraid to post some of your best work over the years. Don't forget to like and thank and love everybody's pictures and help everybody along. Don't forget to light the torch, because every time you light somebody's torch, somebody else is going to light yours. And I love you all, guys. Have you seen my pics? Terry Scott, I've seen some of your pictures. Sometimes you forget to post them on the page. You're a legend. You're a legend. And remember, we all give as hairdressers. We are complete givers. So don't be embarrassed to receive. You deserve it. You deserve to receive. You deserve to receive double what you give. So if you think the amount you give behind the chair every day, you deserve to receive all that and more. Okay? And I'll leave you with that one. Love to you all. God bless you all. And don't worry too much. Okay? And I'll talk to you soon. Okay? Take it easy, guys. And as I say, if we end up in isolation, we'll go live. We'll get people on screens. We'll do everything, but we'll keep ourselves going. Okay? Love yous all. Take care.